Hi, I'm Janet Whitley, the Accidental Artist. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I enjoyed drawing at junior school. I was drawing at high school. I did art at high school up until third year when I had to choose my options for my O-levels. Those of you who are old enough will remember that. Unfortunately, I dropped art, even though I'd done really well up to that point. In fact, one of the highlights of my drawing back then was when I did my third year exam. I came first out of the whole year, so that was pretty good. But then I chose the sensible, more academic subjects for my O-levels because I thought that would stand me in good stead for my career. And fast forward, I entered the working world and the drawing just was a distant memory, really. So after a good few years of working, I met a guy called Scott who proposed to me after 7 weeks. Yes, 7 weeks, and we got married the following year. We started a family and I decided to stay at home with the children, be a stay-at-home mum, and that was for about 6 years. After that, a chance meeting with an acquaintance led me back into work, and I was part-time at first, and then gradually as the company grew I went full-time. Now that went on for the best part of 20 years. I had a good job there. I thought it was a job for life, but unfortunately I was made redundant from there, which pretty much turned my world upside down at the time. So I did get another job straight after. I was very lucky, but unfortunately after about 3 weeks I decided that as lovely as the people were where I worked, it kind of made it real to me that it just wasn't the career I wanted to be in anymore. The children were grown up and I wanted to do something different. I did leave after 3 weeks, and my husband Scott encouraged me to take some time out. We did that. I enjoyed quality time with Scott. We also went on a fantastic trip around Europe for a month, which I'd never been able to do because of deadlines each month, and we just enjoyed time together. So after coming back home from our trip away, I knew I had to look at doing something different, look at getting another job, but I still wasn't sure of what I wanted to do. So we just happened to be wandering around the range, and I said to Scott, you know, I'm going to buy some pencils and paper and just do some drawing. And this is 30 years on from the last time I'd done any drawing. So I bought the pencils and the paper, and whilst I was buying those I spotted a drawing by numbers kind of thing, where you just shaded and things like that. Started off with that, got about halfway through it and decided to have a go at just drawing something different. I had a lovely photograph of my grandson and I decided to have a go at drawing him. I did that and I put a little bit out there on social media, and people started messaging me saying, I didn't know you could draw, and I've got something that I want you to draw, and I just got message after message. It was crazy, really. So it took me a while to complete the portrait of my grandson, but I finally got it finished. I actually gave it to my son and daughter-in-law as a Christmas present. And the next thing I know, I've got portrait commissions pouring in from different people. They were asking me to draw their babies, their children, their cats, their dogs. So I did. And going back some years ago, I remember a friend of ours, I took on board something he said to me, and he'd read a book and it was all about saying yes when you want to say no to things. I was scared to take on these commissions, if I'm honest, because I'd never done it before. I'd never drawn a portrait before until my grandson, but I took on board what he said, so I started to say yes. I thought, what's the worst that can happen? I can't draw it, and I say, I can't do it. But as it happened, I've been able to draw them so far. I've not turned any away, and it's quite amazing and humbling, the reaction I've had. Some of my portraits are hanging on the walls in Australia, Gran Canaria, all over. So yeah, it's very humbling and flattering as well, the compliments that I get. Here's a video I recently received from a client of mine who bought a portrait for his partner. It was of her and her mum, who had sadly passed away some months ago. It was a very emotional piece for me to draw, but I would say it was probably my best piece. I'd had quite a bit going on in my own life at the time. My dad unfortunately passed away, so I think I literally poured my heart into this portrait, and the reaction literally on the video brought me to tears, quite literally.
I hope it's happy tears, not sad ones.
Even I start crying. Good job, mate. Even I start crying. One
of the wonderful things about doing what I'm doing now is the thought that I'm leaving a legacy behind, I guess. I hope that these drawings will be maybe passed down through the generations, and that's a pretty nice feeling to think that that might happen. I've been drawing now for just over 18 months. I mainly draw with graphite pencil, bits of charcoal. I've gone through all different kind of brands of pencils, brands of paper, but I feel like I've reached a point now where I kind of have got the feel of the pencils that I like, the paper that I like. I do the drawings that I do. And every single portrait that I draw, I learn something new from for the next one. A technique that I might have seen on YouTube. I watch lots of YouTube videos. I read lots about drawing, about pencils and papers. I've been inspired by a lot of artists that I've met who have given me really good positive feedback about my drawing too, which is great. And so now I'm kind of looking in the future to move into different mediums as well, hopefully into colour. I've got coloured pencils, perhaps into pastel pencils. I did buy watercolour paints as well, but I've not yet ventured into that one. So yeah, watch this space. what should you expect from my YouTube channel? Well, I don't profess to be a seasoned expert artist. I'm learning every day, still doing my research, still watching lots of YouTube videos, etc. But what I do hope is that I will inspire people. If you've never drawn before, or if you haven't drawn for years like me, like I say, it was over 30 years that I'd not drawn. I hope that you'll follow my journey and pick up techniques along the way. You can learn with me. Thanks for dropping by and watching my video. Let's learn together, and see you in the next video.